Now we know functions. Now we know lambda functions. Now we know higher order function. So now it's a very good time to start actually functional programming. Oh yeah. So functional programming. Why? So what are these functional programming like map, filter, and reduce? Yep. Map, filter, reduce. These are the most common. As you may understand, map, it means actually mapping. Let me show you map. If you have, let's talk about map. Let's talk about map. So anything I talk about after this is map, okay? You have here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you get something 0, 2, 4, 6, or maybe 10, we are mapping with this one to this. Have you seen the relationship? Can you tell me the relationship, guys? I think this one doesn't have any relation actually. Now you may see the relationship. Tell me the relationship now. Please help me out. Tell me the relationship, guys. Here, what's the relationship?
Yeah, multiplied by 2.
Yes, yeah, it's multiply by 2. Oh, and the second one?
There are 2 9, so was it 2 9?
That was by mistake. Then I think it should be, this one should be just 4. Great, thanks.
Cube then, yeah.
What's the relationship?
Cube.
I would say square, right?
4 for the 6. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, great. So now if we have some countries like this, Finland, and if we have then Sweden, and if we have Norway, and if we have Denmark, and if we have Iceland, I'm not going to do this. I can just generate some result so fast, and I will give you. So for actually, I can say print. So for in, and then to uppercase to upper. Then I have to print out and put the value over there for now. Yeah. Now I don't need any more of this. How about the relationship here? The relationship is just this one is the lowercase and the other is the uppercase form of the original item. So mapping is a one-to-one relationship. It's a function, a one-to-one function. Yep. So if you have 5 items, the output should be also 5, but with a different form. So do you get what mapping is? Type 1 for me if you got it. Okay. The idea of mapping here, it's a one-to-one formation of a list. The input and the output should be the same in size. If you type 1 for me on the chat if you got what it means, this map. It's very important, guys. In a different programming language, it's very good. Okay, now you got what's map and filter. Now let's talk about filter. Let's talk about filter. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I have actually 0 and then 2, and then if I have 4, what's the relationship here? What do you see here?
even numbers.
Yes, the even numbers have been filtered out. Great, you got the game already. Yes, and now 1, 3. What do you see over here? Yeah, again, the odd numbers have been filtered out. Okay, now let's talk about reduce. Because before I start the code, I want you to get the concept. Let's talk about reduce. And now I have this and 0, 1, 0, 1, 3, 6, 10. Yeah. How about let's reduce this to 1 times 0, but let me just remove the 0, because if you multiply anything by 0, it will be 0. 1 times 2, 2, and then 6 and 24. So the relationship, if you see, we have a list of numbers and we sum up everything together and we got one value. And let's talk about reduce again here. Actually, now we are multiplying everything. So we reduced it everything to a one item. Yeah. So now let's recap. Map is mapping. If you have like 5 or 6 items, you should get the same amount of items. Filtering out, you filter out list based on some criteria. Yep. And reduce. Okay, you have maybe, for instance, you may have different fruits and you just mix or blend together and you get a juice or a smoothie. So here also I have different items and change to one. Okay, now let's go. Maybe I can make use of this. Now nums, I have nums. So let's do, if I ask you just to map, you may say, I can create a function for num in nums, and then you may say you can create a new list, right? That's very common, lst, and then empty, right? For the time being, then you do whatever you want here. New list, append, either you can double it, so num times by 2, and then you will get print new list, and then you may see, as you can see, yep, I got that. Or maybe if you want this version, the square version, what you should do is just add additional star, and that gives you the square. So we are mapping, but this is a traditional way of mapping. What does that traditional mean? Okay, let's do this the traditional way, and let's do it in a more actually in a more modern way, or maybe using map. We have this map, and then we do the lambda function, lambda x, and then x, and then we pass the nums. Oh, this is how you do. This is, then let's print this out. Oh, but I got some map objects. The thing is, we have to change this to, a list. Okay, but even it's better if we just separately store it, right? I can call it new list, and then list, I have to use the list constructor to change the object. Then this gives me new list. And as you can see, oh yeah, so nice. As you can see, I have used now the lambda function over here. This lambda function iterates through and change this to this mapped value. If you want to just multiply it also, you can have the multiplied version. Great. Now you learn the mapping. But how about if it was the country case? How about this one? And how can we use the country? Okay, countries. Everybody love countries. Then what you should do, a new list again, new list, and then empty, and then traditional way for C in countries, and then what you should new list, then append, then you'd see uppercase, right? By now, this should be very familiar for you. And then print actually new list. And let's see the value. Oh yeah, every country has been changed to its uppercase 4. Great. But as I told you, this could be a bit traditional. Then let's copy and let's just comment this out and do it differently, right? So how do we do it? Like this with a map. Okay, map and the lambda. Then we can say, hey, countries, sorry. And then every country has to be to its uppercase form. And then we have to pass the list. The list is now the countries. Now I can just store this as in a new list, And of course, we have to change this to also a list. And now print new list. Let's see.
Upper is spelled.
Oh, too much P. Oh yeah, as you can see. Now, even if you want to return like a list of lists, you can say, hey, then C, maybe you can say country and the country uppercase, and maybe you can also slice the country code. For instance, if I want to create the country code, it's slicing the first 3, right? The first 3 items. And then again, I am now creating list of list. Oh yeah, Finland, and Finn. And maybe if you want it even longer, I can say now the length of the country. So yes, so you can go further. Now I think this is good enough for map. Map creates equal number of items. Now, even though this is also a list of lists, we have this can be counted as one item again. Okay, I think that's straightforward for you. Now let's just filter out numbers. Yep, let's go for this. If I ask you to filter out from this the even numbers in a longer way for num, in nums, first you have to print them out, right? Everybody knows how to do this right now, and it should be straightforward. Okay, yes, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can see 0 is an even number, 2 is an even number, 4 is an even number. Okay, so how can I filter that? So this is if num divided by modulus, that means, and if it's 0, then it's going to be an even number. If something is divided by 2 and if the remainder is 0, that means it's divisible by 2. Let's see. Oh yeah, 0, 2, 4. But we are just splashing it out. So we have to say maybe evens. Such a lovely name. As you can see, we can just create a list called evens or even list. And now we can accumulate those values here. Then evens dot append and then num. And then let's see, print the evens or the even numbers, whatsoever you want to call it. Oh yeah. Then if you want to also create the odds, you may just copy this and then instead you can change this to odds. And then of course we have to make a change. Then it should be, yes, it shouldn't be divisible by 2. And now our answer will be correct. Yeah, these are the evens and these are the odds. Yeah, this is the traditional way of doing it. Now let's make use of the filter functional programming. Oh yeah. So first, let's just uncomment this. We're taking out. This is how we filter. Hey, filter lambda function x, and then if x is divisible by 2 and 0, and then we can say nums. Yep, this is how we filter out, and then let's call it this evens. Again, we have to change it to list. And now let's try print evens. Have you seen? Wow. So if you want to change this again to odds, so it will be straightforward. I can change this to odds, and I have to change this to not equal to. Yeah, I'm getting now the odds. Now let's filter out from the countries that has land. Okay, it's so easy. First, we have to get the countries list down. I can keep it there, but just to make it visible for us. So what I should say, filter, and then I can say lambda country. You can call it X, it doesn't matter, but country, it makes sense. Maybe I can say land in country. Then I have to pass the countries list. And then I have to say, maybe I can say countries with land list. And then if we print countries with land, let's see how it looks like. Oh yeah, Finland. If we did this in a traditional way, it should be something like that. For maybe new countries or something. Yeah, so for countries, in countries, we have to say print. First, actually, we have to say land. Sorry, if land in the country, or in C, then now we can print the C. But we print C only if, as you can see, now we can append this in a new list, but I think you're familiar with that, so we don't have to do that. Okay, have you seen now? We learned how to use the filter. The filter in the map is it's the same almost, but the function is different. Now let's go for reduce. Now reduce is actually to reduce something. For instance, we can sum this together. Yeah, this number together. So we can use reduce, but we don't have the reduce globally, so we have to import it from function tools, import reduce. So we have to import this. This is how we import. We didn't learn how to import modules, but that would be the second part of our session. But anyway, for the time being, let's just blindly import this reduce, and I hope you will learn how to reduce, how to learn how to import different modules soon properly. But anyway, from means go to this module and then import the reduce part. We can import other modules also from function tools, okay? But now in this case, we are importing just this. Even we can, if we do also like this, by now I'm importing all the modules in the function. Even I can also access already reduce, but instead I just only reduce. Okay, then what we do, reduce, and then we say lambda. In this case, we say x and y, x plus y, and then nums. So this gives you right away the sum of this. And then I'm expecting actually 10. As you can see, it's 10. And if you multiply them, you will get, now just to multiply, you can change that to multiply, and actually you should get 24. And that's how you use the reduce function. Yeah, so what are the function? What are the higher order function we have learned so far? Map, to map a list, and it return a list all the time. Yeah. It works with a list and it returns a list. As you can see, you have this and you got this. And you have this and you got this. You have this and you got this. That's mapping. Great. Filter is just filtering out based on some criteria. So you have these numbers and you got even numbers. You got this, you have this list and you got odd numbers. Reduce, it just reduce all the items. I mean, for instance, in this case, it's sum all together and you got 10. And again, you sum all together and you get 24. Not summing actually here, multiplying. So that is how it works. And we use with map, filter, and reduce, we use lambda function. As you can see, we have lambda over here, we have lambda over here, and we have lambda over here and lambda over here. That's why we learned lambda function a while ago. Let's stop in here because we have covered the functional programming, map, filter, and reduce. And in the second part, we will learn, or in the coming part, we will learn actually modules. See you there.